I look like a mess right now, but what is new? Uh, Let me plug this. Give me a second, guys, and I'll be talking. The speakers are on. Yeah, that's fine. Whoa. What happened to my hair? Uh, two nights ago, I decided to buzz my head. I do this whenever I guess I'm going through some emotions, I guess, when I'm like sad or something. I just kind of it resets my brain sometimes, I should say. Not this time. But these things come and go. Emotions aren't permanent. I know that. We know that. But what's up, guys? Joey here. Hope you guys are doing very well. And yeah, I'm not in the best mood, so whenever, even me not showing the best side of myself online, I still do it because it's therapeutic. It gets me through, you know, these emotions and me reflecting on my life and me, I guess, holding these feelings about. I'm not gonna get into it. I don't want to. I'm not gonna air out my dirty laundry in front of you guys. You don't deserve it. No one does. But uh, you know, life can make you reflect on things, and that's what that's what it's meant to do. That's what God um, can show us, I guess, to reflect on the past and learning from the past. But sometimes I tend to not repeat things. If you repeat the same um, so let's just say you're walking in the woods or something and you see a bear trap and you step on it. And this is the first time you're stepping on the bear trap. Maybe you didn't mean to do it. Maybe you didn't mean to really do it. You heal. You're at the hospital. You heal, and then a few months go by. You're walking in the same path on the same in the woods, and then you step on the same exact bear trap. That's what I'm saying. Some of us can repeat our past mistakes, and I tend to do that sometimes. I do that a lot. I give someone the benefit of the doubt, and I just go with the flow, or just anything. In the sense of just repeating a mistake. I try my best not to do such things because you learn from mistakes, you learn from past experiences and moments, and but I'm learning to prioritize my time with myself, with my personal life, and sometimes you gotta let people go. Sometimes you gotta move on from people who you want to be with them, but they're going through problems and you want to give them space, and I need my own space. There's been so many times where I'm hanging out with a friend who doesn't know that I'm going through a lot, but I still show up for that person just because I don't want to let him down. But he's an adult as well as me. I'm older though, but it doesn't really change anything. It's just annoying that I feel like I sometimes have no choice but to hang out with, a really good person. Um, Even though that person can be a bit of a bad influence on me. You know, um, and that's a tough pill to swallow. It is. Um, but you love the person no matter what. Even if the person can sometimes be a negative influence on you, he's also been a really good, impactful, positive influence on my life. But sometimes, if it leans, you know, towards the negative side every now and then, it lingers in my brain a whole lot more. Um, and when I'm around people who I like, um, mainly him, mainly um, my second brother, basically. Um, I don't know how to be vocal. You know, I don't know how to tell him like, hey, I'm uncomfortable. Hey, I don't want to do this. But I put on this mask, and I smile and I just deal with whatever he's saying, whatever because I'm used to it. But as I'm getting older, I'm understanding that this is not what I want in my life anymore. I have so much art that I want to share to the world. I have so much talent that I want to refine and I want to perfect. And when you give said person half of your time, more than half of your time, and lately it hasn't been because I've been limiting, and then I feel like I'm to blame because I'm not hanging out with, you know, my friend. But you need to take a stand, even if it hurts, even if the other person won't even talk to you ever again. I'm not saying he will or whatever, but I'm not going to lie to myself anymore. I've lied to myself so many times, bit my tongue, I guess you could call it. Um, and we all do this. But maybe I'm just more girly with how I feel sometimes, and that could be. That's why, I vocalize so much on my channel, but, you know, I feel like you guys deserve to know bits and pieces of my life because you guys have helped me through so much. Just by watching my AI covers or anything that I've made, that I have created, um, but it's not enough because I want to create more. And this is the problem. This is the problem. And lately it hasn't been friend time 24/7 because lately I've been trying to work in my first job. And, I'm proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself that I was able to work and show myself and to show other people like, hey, I'm not lazy. I've never been lazy. The last 3 years of my life, I had to dedicate my well-being, and I had to get myself out of something that I have avoided the last 2 years of my life. Um, I should say two, yeah. Last 2 years. You know, I'm so much more religious because of the past, and I want to be on a good path in life. And sometimes when you hang around people who you love, and I'll always love anyone who can sometimes be a negative influence on me, but you will always love them. You may not like what they say, but you will always love the people around you, even your family, even like blood, even like related people, like your mom and dad, whoever. But it's I'm 24. I'm getting up there in age. Yeah, I'm still young, but time is moving so fast. Every year, the older you get, time moves past you so quick, and you look back. I'm like, damn, I could have done this. Could have sat down and I have created this. I try not to linger in the past because that was what I used to do all the time. I would do this all the time, and we all do this. I know I'm not the only one who reflects on the past and dwells on past regrets or something. I don't know. But I'm all over the place right now. I'm a bit emotional. If you can't really tell, haven't really had the last couple days have been a bit weird. Um, I just this is a version of me currently, and maybe tomorrow I'll be in a better mood, or the next day I'll be okay. But I want to get this off my chest because it's been eating me up for months. I've been looking. I've been reflecting on the last couple months, mainly the last summer, or yeah, just the last few months, like 5 months. I've been reflecting and thinking heavily, and the last, I would say, 7 months. Yeah, not five. The last 7 months, I've put my time for me, time, to create art, time to perfect my skills on the back burner. I literally put time for me on the back burner for someone else who I love. And as much as I love him as a friend, you need to take care of yourself before you can be there for other people. And I know this very well. And some people just may not understand it. And I guess he didn't understand it about a year and a half ago, even though he knew the context of, I'm saying too much right now, but I really don't give a shit because it eats me up and it affects me so much. I don't know why. I don't understand it. And okay, back to the present because yeah. But so I've been thinking the last few months, I guess reflecting the last 7 months of my life. I'm like, I know what I want to do in the sense of creating art, in the sense of making music, in the sense of dabbling with more AI to really, really explore AI, explore art, explore what I want to do in life, in my life. A very short life that we all have, you know? And so, am I thinking, am I going to spend all this time that I have been the last 8 months of my life, almost 8 months, being there for someone else? Or am I going to spend time refining skills that I know I have in my soul, but I'm neglecting? I'm not neglecting. Well, that could be a word to describe it, but putting your passions, your soul passions, your gifts, the gifts that God has given all of us. We all have something that we love to do. Hobbies, passions, purpose, on the back burner. Always swallowing it, leaving your room to hang with people and to not even feel like you're fitting in half the time because, I feel like I don't fit in with anyone. And I feel like when I create art and then share my creations, you're getting real me. You're getting the true me. And I don't do it enough. I don't make art enough because I'm so used to being there for a friend, being there to hang out and be an idiot. And it bothers me. It's bothered me the last few months of my life. And I'm thinking very adult like with this. I'm like, but I don't want to neglect a friendship because about a year and a half ago I did. I had to isolate myself from people to be much healthier mentally. And um, I'll never apologize to anyone for, I guess, being selfish, because in life, all of us are selfish. You look at anyone who has perfected a skill that they were born with. So I guess all of us are selfish then, you know? I'm just going by what some people could say. Oh, Joe, you're selfish. Like, you're not going to be there for a friend. You know, you would much rather live your life and perfect your skills, share your art. Can't you do both? And that's a good question. You could say that. I probably could. I probably could juggle it all, but I've tried. I've tried, and maybe I haven't tried enough. I haven't tried as hard as I probably should, and that could be a thing. And that could be something that I got to get better at. But from what I have in my brain the last few months, I could do one or the other. I could put all my stuff on the back burner, put it on hold, put my art and love on hold, to hang out with more people, to socialize more, to do this, to do that, or I could do the complete opposite. Create art and not hang out with people. And, it's weird. And that's just me. That's probably just how I am chemically, genetically. I don't know. I don't question it a lot because, there's so much to question. You don't want to eat yourself up with that, because you could do that. I've done that many times, and that's so unhealthy. That's awful. And, as I mentioned, I pushed myself lately to work. My first ever job. My first ever job. And I felt so proud of myself. I felt so proud of myself. I feel so proud of myself. 24, I'm old as hell in the sense of working your first job. I should have been 16 and working my first ever job. But again, I'm not thinking in that way anymore. I used to. But I'm like, I did this. I did this. And it was a hard fucking job. It's a really hard job. It's physical. You're moving around. You're sweating your balls off. And it's cold too. So that doesn't help. And it's just... a lot is changing. A lot is changing in my life. And I want to have as much free time to myself, because then I know I can actually refine and get better and improve at singing, at art. I want to draw more. I want to create art. I want to express myself, because again, as I mentioned, when I'm around people, you're not getting the real me. This isn't even the real me too. Me live streaming right now. Because I know I'm recording. I know I'm recording. So my brain knows I'm recording. So you're getting a different type of me. There's a science behind it, you know. You're never your true self when you know you're being filmed. That's a fact. Google it. And but when I'm around people, sometimes I feel like it's called like imposter syndrome. It just feels like I think that's the correct thing to say. I don't know. I don't feel like myself half the time when I'm talking to anyone, even people who I've known, even my friend of almost 10 years, person I mentioned throughout this whole stream. I could be around him and I'm just completely just not myself at all. And sometimes he's doing something and then I follow his lead. And I do something stupid that normal me would not do. But because I've known him, forever, he's in the room, then I have to kind of like join him, Now, I'm not saying if he would jump off of a cliff, I would join him in that way. But, I've always been a follower. All my friends, I had this one other friend, his name was Chase. And this was back in elementary school. So I would follow him. He was more popular. He was the cool kid. He was the handsome kid. So, you know, I would follow him, and he would be the leader. I would be the follower. And this is the same exact chemistry with me and my friend of 10 years. And I'm older than him. I'm 4 years older than this kid. And, he's a sweetheart. He's a sweetheart of a kid. But, when, as I mentioned, month by month by month by month by month, call after call after call, and especially when I want to make content with him, but it never comes to be. It never happens. I have so many ideas for videos, for Station Logic. Our channel never comes to be. Never happens. No matter how many times we have hung out, it never happens. And that's one of my, maybe he's not as, even, and I'm saying when we have time, not when he's busy and I'm busy. We have probably just different opinions on recording and performing and creating entertainment and stuff. But I love it. I love it. It's the cherry on top. I love creating videos. But again, I don't do it enough because it just never happens when I'm hanging out with people. And when it does happen, I'm uploading like one video a month, like once a month. So I want more consistency, and I want to show myself more. How can I do that? Well, I gotta isolate myself from people who I hang out with all the time, because sometimes it can be a distraction in my life. As much as I love him, or even my family, it can be anyone, really. I want to expand my life, expand the people I talk to. And when you talk to the same people over and over again, you feel like you're trapped. You feel like you trapped yourself in this little niche bubble that you can't really pop sometimes. And I've convinced myself of this, at least. And I want to get better. And I want to explore. And I want to socialize more while I'm creating art. As I mentioned, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to balance it out, but I want to get better at that. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here, because it's not even landing the way I want it to. But I show bits and pieces of what I want to really do in my life, with creating art and stuff. Again, I don't know what you can't put me in a box, you can't put me in a box. I always have to change it up a little bit, switch it up a little bit. But I'm so much more than what I have shown to the public, in the sense of creating. And I'm getting older, and all of us are getting older, and you think about this a lot. Like, shit, I have so much to share, but I don't sit on my butt and create art. I'm like, okay, I gotta call someone, or we gotta play Fortnite, or we gotta do something for someone else. When sometimes you gotta be there for yourself. I mean, that's, like, I don't even know if I'm right or not. I don't know. I just feel like I need to really I love creating art. I love it. It's just I don't do it enough. I don't do it enough. And sometimes it could be because I get burnt out, so I don't do it all the time. But if I get in a groove with creating art, as in with videos or songs or singing, I want to get better at all these things. I look at all this stuff as art. AI, it's art. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Oh, AI is bad. I don't give a fuck. I know my truth. I know where I stand on AI. And if anyone has a problem, well, you're not going to change me. You know, you're not going to change me. I fucking love it. People can use it for bad, for, oh, I want to gain followers and shit. I don't do that. I've always done AI for the art aspect. That's it. And, you know, but again, I can't be put in a box. So, you know, AI is not just the only thing I I want to get better at. You know, I want to get better at drawing. I used to draw all the time. I would draw. You know, if I'm depressed, if I'm going through something, I would just go out in the dining room, sit on my booty, and just draw for hours on end, listening to music, drawing. That was my therapy. Don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore. I used to, you know. I used to listen to so much music. I don't do that anymore. I don't. I miss it, you know. I need a water. Oh gosh. This is definitely an event stream. This is, gosh, this is. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, and I mean, hey, whatever. I'll feel embarrassed, but it's like, what can you do? Hey, people talk about way worse shit. It's like, you know, I try to tell the truth now. You know, I used to just be a complete, utter liar online. This is when I was young, but, you know, I still lied many, many times. But I told myself I'm not going to lie to myself from here on out. Like the last 2 years, I would say. Ever since I turned to God, and I'm gonna get back into reading the Bible. I haven't been reading the Bible due to me kind of losing interest, and that's just the truth. I forced myself to read it, and on some days I would just like kind of force myself to read. And I've never read a book in my life. I don't like to read, only if it is intriguing or fascinating. I do it, um, but yeah, I want to get back into that. You know. I could be sinning right now. This could be counted as a sin, just me like venting online to the public. But this is how I've been feeling. And guys, if you scroll on my, you know, channel and see some of the songs or the covers I have done, not the AI covers, but like little like covers that I have done. I did a few in the last like two years, I guess in the span of 2 years I did like a couple. And I've always asked myself, like, why do I only do like one of these tracks every now and then? When I want to explore with mixing audio. You know, I've mixed audio on Audacity for, I guess, 2 years now, and I want to get better. That's my bread and butter. I love to draw. I love AI and stuff. I love Audacity with mixing audio. That's what I've been heavily into with just making music and stuff. And again, I'm not an artist in that sense because I don't know how to play guitar. I want to learn how to play guitar, but you know, I just need this free time. I need free time for myself. I need free me time, you know? And I just sometimes I just don't want to hang out with people. I really don't, you know? And I have to be in the mood to do it. And sometimes not sometimes, a lot of the times I have just dealt with the feelings of what I want to do, and I'm like, okay, push it off. Be there for, you know, other people. Show up for other people, because, and I want to point this out. You need to do this in life, where, you know, you turn off, I guess, this selfishness, and you have to be there for other people. You know, and if you care about other people, you're gonna do what you have to do for said family or friends or your girlfriend, or it could be anyone. It could be anyone that you love. But I don't know where to end off, I guess. I don't know how to end that off. It's weird. It's weird. I can actually unplug this now. There we go. Cool. I look so bad right now. It's insane. It's so bad. That hair grows quick. And at this point, I'm really not. Oh, look how sweaty I am. That's sexy, huh? Oh, gosh. Yeah, please pardon what I've been saying the last 30 minutes, guys. I just, I don't know morally, like, what to do. Like, I just don't know. I just think like taking a break from anyone is healthy, you know. But I've said this. I think the last stream, couple streams ago, I think I said this once. I get heavily influenced by anyone I'm around. And if it's a consistent thing where, you know, you're in the same room with the person and you say this and that and you pick up on it and you're so close with someone, you're able to finish each other's sentences. And, you know, it's weird. It's a cool dynamic because you know that you're close with the other person, but sometimes um, makes me act as in a different way that, you know, real me, the true soul me would not do. And that's being influenced or whatever you want to spin it as. I need to open this up. Sorry, guys. But so I'm just thinking about this lately, in terms of what I want to do. Creating art, I want to create a new channel. I already have, but I want to venture off into and dabble into different avenues of art and really perfect something that I already have, but I want to get better at. And you need to dedicate a lot of time, and sometimes you gotta make sacrifices, and that's why I'm working. You know, I'm getting a job. I want to find another job because the one job that would have been full time was like 12-hour shifts, working, you know, cold weather, and I did the one shift. It was like maybe like 6 hours. I got $100, so I'll take it. But it was too much for me, and even like my old boss knew that, and so I'll still be working with my old boss when he needs me, But until then, I want to find um, a lighter, easier job that is not that um, crazy for your first job. But so get good money, decent money, I should say, not the best. I don't think I'll get a ton of money for doing stock or something, but I will find within like the next like 3 weeks, I'm gonna find a really good job, and I'm excited for that because maybe this job will click more. I don't know. Maybe it'll click. Um, but I really want to save up for a better microphone, better equipment, better tools, better programs, better everything, to really make it easier, I guess, with creating art. Um, because money means like absolutely nothing to me, but I like the fact that you can use money to help other people out and to help yourself out in the way of creating anything. Like if you need a better microphone, save up for it. Boom, you're good. Or anything. You want to learn how to play guitar, save up for a guitar. Boom, you got a guitar. Awesome. Um, but I don't hold on to money in the way that I used to. Like if I was forced to not get anything, to never buy a lick of an item ever again, I don't care. I have everything that I could ever really ask for. Um, but um, I definitely want to improve some of the things for like recording and sound and visuals and stuff. But optics, I guess you could say. But yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. Again, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, uh, probably feeling embarrassed that I went live when I'm kind of not manic. I wouldn't say manic, but emotional. Um, but you get the best and you get the worst, I guess, of me, guys. And I mean well. I always mean well. I'm trying not to. I'm I'm carefully saying stuff as best as I can, but well, whatever. We're human. We're human. But all I'm trying to say is, if you feel like you need to spend time with one other person in your life 24/7, you created this. The other person didn't create this thought in your head. You created it because of, maybe before this you didn't spend as much time. So you feel like you always have to be there for that person. I'm like, okay, I always got to be there. Well, you don't. You don't. You can only do so much. And life is so short. And when you feel what has been given to you by God, your passions, your purpose, refine those and really, really hone in onto perfecting them, perfecting your gifts, your purpose, your passions. Create art, or it could be anything. It could be absolutely anything. And if your friends, or if your friend or friends understand, then they understand. If they don't get it, then they weren't meant to get it. They weren't meant to understand it then. And it's not your baggage to have, to always think about, like, oh no. That's on them. That's on them. If they couldn't read it, if they couldn't understand it, then that's on them. So be it. But you guys have. I'm still gonna be on here a little bit. I don't care. You guys deserve this stream to not fully be so emotional. So I'm gonna try to calm down a little bit. Go live another like 40 minutes. Screw it. Why not? Last like 4 days I've been just nonstop doing the same old, and I'm breaking free. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna love myself a whole lot more, and you guys should too. You guys should love yourselves, and don't apologize for being different, and embrace your quirkiness, embrace your skills, refine your skills, and we all have a place in this world. We all have a place in this world, even if you feel like you're not worthy. Because trust me, 2 years ago, I felt like I was absolute nothing. I felt like I was nothing. I was a nobody. I was worthless. I, I, I used to beat myself up so much 2 years ago. This is before I became religious, and God showed me bedrock. He's shown me the depths and the levels of when you're depressed, and he basically told me to just keep on fighting, just keep on fighting, just hold on. You hold on. You have a bad day. Let's say you have a bad day. Hold on and get through it. Tomorrow could be a better day. If it's not, pray that tomorrow or the next day will be a much better day. If you just hang on and you know yourself and you know the things that you're good at, because all of us are born. I don't care how boring you could say that you are. Oh, I'm boring. I'm not good at anything. How would you know that? You have to really, isolate yourself from people to sometimes really figure that out. Because again, when you're distracted by other entities, by external scenarios, people or things or circumstances, and sometimes we can't avoid these, as I mentioned. Like sometimes you have to be there for people. Sometimes you have to do this for people. But when it becomes such a consistent thing, almost every other day, that's kind of where sometimes you can get depressed. You kind of feel this like, okay, this is like so repetitive, and I'm not enjoying half the time really that I'm not enjoying this really half the time. So it's like, what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? Kind of like recollect yourself. Then sometimes you take a break, from people, just to see where, if you're wrong, or actually feel like, okay, you don't need to be with people sometimes. And man, like creating art, that's where I'm at peace. I'm loving myself, and working out too. When I'm working out, oh, I just feel so happy. Like, it's like self-love, it's self-care. I look at when you work out, when you go for walks, when you take care of your hygiene, when you eat better, or even try to gain weight, we're trying to take care of yourself in some way. That's self-love, that's self-care. When you don't take care of your health, that is literally you giving up on yourself. I look at that. If you don't know how to take care of yourself, please learn. Please learn. Because the quality of your life is so important. And it's very important. Again, I'm going like on like kind of like an Alex Jones like ramble. How like he's like, well the frogs are turning gay, and then I can't do an impression of him. My voice would take a hit. My throat would take a ginormous big hit, and nope, not happening. But yeah, so again, a part of me, guys, a part of me, again, I've said this day in and day out. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. I'm just an emotional 24-year-old boy. I say boy because I act like a boy sometimes, and you know what? I never liked the word man. Oh, I'm a manly man. No, I'm not. I'm not a manly man. I feel like a girl sometimes, and you know what? That's just who I am. I'm just so vocal sometimes, and it's like I'm proud of myself for being so vocal because I don't care. When you don't care, or I should say, when you care less, you just feel so happy. You know, there's been so many times where I wanted to go live to just vent or to say something. And I'm like, no, no, don't say this. You're gonna embarrass yourself. If I embarrass myself, so be it. I'll learn, you know, and as long as I'm myself, I'm happy. Just speak your mind. Speak your mind. Speak your mind. And don't be scared. I'm not scared anymore. I used to be so fucking frightened for so many weird reasons. And I'm just not anymore. I'm just like, I'm happy. And I'm at peace. And I have a long way to go. All of us do. And if you're religious, you know that we have a long way to go. And just try to make the best of it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say anymore. I don't even know what else to add to it. I butchered this whole live stream. I don't even know what I've been saying. I'm gonna, from here on out, not gonna curse. Zip up my gross, vulgar lips. But yeah. But I definitely want to dabble with more art, specifically music related. And I want to have an ASMR channel. That's something that I've always wanted. I love ASMR and I love doing ASMR, and that's the main thing where I want to get better equipment to make ASMR, to record, and to just have better lighting in my room and stuff, and I'll still go live on this channel, but hello, Suraj. I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. Thank you for being here. Hello. How are you? I love you too, Nana. I'm sorry for not seeing your. So, sorry for not seeing your message, Nana. I love you too. Yo, bro. I'm fine. What about you? No, I'm feeling better now. I'm live and stuff, and on the channel. I haven't been live on the channel in a while. Are you new? I don't remember your name. Yeah, I'm chilling. I'm just chilling. I'm living, I'm chilling, you know. It's all that matters, you know. Even a bad day is still a good day if you think about it. Right? Bro, same. That's good, that's good. This is such a bad angle. I look so bad now that I don't have long hair. Um it sucks. I have to pee. I just chugged half of this water, and I have to like, it goes right through me. It's like drinking alcohol, just goes right through you. And you have to pee. Um, don't drink, don't do drugs, guys, because oh gosh, I've dabbled with marijuana. I've dabbled with alcohol. So, drugs are awful, terrible, terrible. Some say it could enhance some art, some creativity, but I'd rather make my art, not art that is, I guess, drug art. You know, you have to take a certain drug to then make art. It's like, no, I want to learn how to make art naturally, just with my brain, without any external substances, I guess. I don't know. If you don't mind me asking. Are you in college? Because I would not know. I never went to college. I never even went to high school. Never even went to high school. I was counted as middle school before I quit. 8th grade. Would have been 10th, but I failed twice. I was a bad student. I mean, no, I was a very nice student, but in the sense of like learning and stuff, like a lot of it never really stayed in this noggin. Um, Especially when I went to cyber school. That was not good. That was my downfall with switching over from public, real physical school to, you know, being on your laptops and Skyping with the teachers, you know. Not for me. Was not for me. But you live, you learn. You live, you learn, man. I'm gonna plug this in. I'm gonna have to be on. I have to pee right now. If I have to. Actually, I'm trying to grasp what you tell me, but not a native English speaker who will have to understand, bro, after COVID might not full surgery. I think all of us can really say that. COVID really left a huge mark, a huge scar on everyone. It's never thought that would ever happen in my lifetime. So I can only imagine what everyone else thought about that. I was 19 when COVID happened, and now I'm 24. Yeah, it's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Like, it feels like so long ago, but it feels like maybe just a year ago it happened, you know? 6 feet, you know, and wearing your masks that really didn't really help. It just they looked good. They visually looked like, you know, they were useful, but all the masks that they were telling us to wear, it was just a visual thing to make it look like you're doing your part, you know. But that's just my opinion. I don't want to get political. It's because I guess that's technically being political. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, honestly. Like, felt like the worst movie, the worst like drama fucking film, horror movie too, if you want to call it that, cuz gosh. Mm-mm-mm. When I'm done with this stream, I'm gonna play some Fortnite. And I love playing Fortnite. Uh, haven't really been playing games lately, but like the last week. Well, I should say like maybe like the last 2 weeks. ever since I hooked up this projector. Bro, if you don't mind, can you tell me what is your profession? So recently, I got my first ever job, um, and it's just like physical labor, cutting tree branches, mowing lawns in the summertime or springtime, summertime, um, lifting stuff, putting stuff on trucks, just a lot of landscape related stuff. Um, and I've already worked 2 days so far, but it's been slow. And so my current boss hooked me up with um, he would be my new boss then. His name's Tyler, and he has a landscaping like company thing, but he has advanced like vehicles and machines and stuff, and so I did a shift. I worked first time at his business, and it was a bit too much for me. I was able to do the work, but like physically, like I was gassed. I was just completely like I was gonna pass out almost. Like I literally felt like I was so weak I could not really continue with working. Um, and I told my old boss that, and he was like, "I get it. You know, for your first job, that's excruciating, because I would be working like 12-hour shifts, like full time. So basically every single day, waking up at like 4 in the morning, so I have to screw up my sleep schedule, and so a lot was going into it. And so I have to find another job, but I'll still be working with my old boss whenever he's um, much capable of working and stuff. So, and I lost my hearing. I lost my hearing. I cannot even hear right now. It's ringing. Yay, I can't hear. What's up, Gabe? How are you, homie? But yeah, so I guess like my profession currently is part-time physical landscape guy, and I want to try to find a part-time like stock job or something. But this other job that if I would have stayed, it would have been a bit too much for me, because I know my body, and as much as I look like I work out, and I do work out a lot, but whenever I'm anxious, it's like debilitating to the point where like I cannot physically like do much. I'm limited, and my gas tank just depletes a whole lot quicker, and you know, I'm just not good around people. I'm not good around many things. I know my limits, and I want to get better at these things, but you know, I'm good. I'm good. Trying to sleep at work, really? Damn. Are you on break right now? Bro, your life is so hard. It's not hard. It's not hard. I'm not gonna never want to say, "Oh, I'm going through so much, guys. Pray for me." Cuz there's always someone in this world. There's many millions and millions of other people who have it much worse, you know. Um, but if I'm feeling a certain way, I'm gonna voice it, you know. And mentally, I guess I'm not in the best place right now currently. So if I'm saying something, I don't mean to say it. I'm not trying to make it seem like um, I'm going through so much, but working my first ever job, that was a big hurdle to overcome. I did it, and I'm like so proud of myself, you know. And so it's like I'm not scared anymore in the sense of, socializing with people, but test your limits, and I'm testing my limits, and we all have our limits, and just test them. Just test your limits. I'm sorry to hear that. I have a... Oh, wow, really? You have a hammock? Nice. Nice, dude. That sounds so freaking chill. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I promise you guys, the next time I'm live, it'll be not as, I guess, emotional. It'll be more on track with, like normal streams and stuff, like how I normally go about my streams, not, you know, emotional BS that I guess I'm spewing the last hour. And this is an embarrassing moment for me, but so be it. I'm not in the best mental state, I guess. So it's like, this is my therapy. This is my therapy. But yeah. So I'm gonna be creating more art, and I'm gonna be focusing on my life more. And if anyone is in a similar boat where you want to be there for someone else, know your limits, because I know mine, and boy oh boy, I know my limits now. And you can only do so much for another person, another friend, and God has given us many, many purposes in life. I believe that wholeheartedly. And when you don't refine what you really want to do in your soul, with creating art, with expressing yourself in music form, with singing, with AI, with drawing, with painting, with video making, with video editing, with music, Audacity, mixing audio, being a producer, I guess, if you want to call it that. The things that make up you. Those are the things that make up me. Goofy videos too, if you want to call it that. Just like whenever I'm in the mood. Whenever, like, real me shows up and shines, you get that. You then get it. But, I get distracted by external things. And this is just how I am. And I'm learning that it's like, I need to prioritize me time, and time for me, and other people other than my one friend who I have been given so much time. And I want to make videos, and they never come to be mentioned. Oh, we should do this, never happens. And it's like, sometimes you have to be selfish. Sometimes you have to be selfish, because again, I'll say this analogy. Oh, you look at like Michael Jordan. Oh, he's one of the best, the GOAT at basketball. How did he get so good? He had to literally isolate himself from people sometimes to refine at his skills, And but I will say this, I need to live my life, because I haven't been. I feel like I'm in someone else's movie, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm in someone else's life, not living my life, not understanding what I want to do in my path, I'm able to crack it or crack into um, bits and pieces of what I have seen in myself, and I'm able to show some of it every now and then. You know, it comes through enough to where sometimes I can be like, yes, yes, I'm so proud of myself. I did this or did that, made this song or did this. But it's not enough. I want more. I want more. I want more because I can feel that there's so much more there. I have to tap into. I have to tap into the potential that I've seen in myself for the last 2 years. And, you know, so sometimes you have to be selfish. And if you want to get better at your path in life, you have to sometimes be selfish. You can't just juggle all these big sweaty balls, you know. Always be there for people. You can try your hardest, but it'll never be enough. And again, this is how I think. This isn't like what scripture says or the Bible or fucking. This is just how I think right now. So don't take anything what I say to heart so seriously. Don't listen to me. No one should listen to me. I'm still learning about myself every single day. So no one should listen to me. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anyone online. Never listen to an influencer. Never listen to a YouTuber. Never listen to anyone. You know, because you have to do your own learning with yourself, with your being and God, if you're religious or anything. Bro, are you into movies? Bro, being emotional is not a bad thing. I sometimes, because it's like the whole man thing, like, oh, I'm a man. Men don't cry. Men don't show and share the emotions that they have inside of them and stuff. But I feel as though, like, sometimes, like, men are